Okay, so I'm going to show you project 1, how to create a pinch pot. So we're going to be doing a pinch pot with an attached rim and sgraffito. Sgraffito means to scratch in Italian. So what you're going to do is you're going to slice off some clay, and then you're going to take that slab of clay and you're going to slice that in half, and you'll come up with something about this size. So what you want to do is I use my palms, you want to get it into a ball. Just moving around the clay. You can press on it, press it down rather, on the table. You can work right on the table, but then you have a lot of cleanup. Well, you still have cleanup if you work on a board. You're going to have to wipe it down, but some people like to work straight on the table. Some people like to work on a board, and this is a whiteware board. Either way is fine. Okay, so I got a nice ball here, and you want to be careful because you see this part of the clay overlapped. I'm going to move this. This part of the clay overlapped, so that'll create an air bubble. So you want to be very, very careful not to have those overlaps. We're going to be working this clay, so it should be okay. Okay, so you have a nice ball here. You want to take your thumb and you're going to push it down, and you'll feel, you don't want to push it too far so it comes out the bottom obviously, but you want to push it to where you have about 3/4 of an inch, a half an inch on the bottom. You can always go and adjust it. So I'm going to stop right there because I feel it sort of pushing out here. Then you're going to be almost doing like a quacking motion, working your fingers, your forefingers and your thumb together at the same time, turning the pot in your hand, in your left hand, or if you're lefty, in your right hand. But you'll be turning it, applying the same pressure. You don't want to impale the clay with your thumb. You don't want to push it through. And you want to work from the bottom up. So you want to work your fingers at the bottom up. So I want to go around, making sure I go all the way around on the bottom. You're going to have to sort of pick a spot by eye. Then I'm going to come up, moving my hand, moving my hand, moving my hand. Then I'm going to come back up again, moving, all in sequence. It's like a synchronized swimmer. Moving up. Don't make the rim so narrow, so thin that it's way thinner than the rest of your pot. Move it around. Now you can look at it and you can say, well, I want to make my bottom of my pot push out a bit more. I don't want it so round. So you can do that with your thumb, just applying a little bit of pressure at the bottom with your thumb. Then you can smooth out the inside too with your fingers. Or you can use one of these S tools. I just like to use my finger. Okay? And that seems pretty even. You can go around with your fingers and feel around. But that feels pretty even. Then I would take a board, or just put it right on the table and sort of make it flat on the bottom. If you want to push the middle down a little with your thumb. Cleaning it out, that's okay. Then I would take a rubber rib. And you see how these ribs are sort of tapered on the edge? That works to your advantage because you can push, hold your 3 fingers in here and pull up with that tapered edge to smooth out your pot. You can even move this board around as you go, or you could put it on a banding wheel, in the middle of the banding wheel, and just turn with your fingers. This smooths out the clay, and it also aligns the particles of the clay. It's hard to do if you have nails, because obviously your nail will go through the clay. So talk to me about that. Would be great if you could cut your nails. See, I don't have any nails. But if you can't part with your nails, I understand. And we can give you a pair of gloves. That helps a little bit. Okay? Okay, my pot is looking pretty good. Yeah. You can even pick it up and smooth it out. Now on the inside, you can use one of these rounded tip tools, not obviously the point, but the rounded tip for the inside, and you can just lightly bring it up, holding your one hand to give support to the wall of the pot, moving it around, and the other hand just lightly using the tool. You can use your fingers like I said, but you should have it smooth. You'll get points taken off if it is not smooth, inside and out. I'm not going to really worry about this rim so much because we're going to attach a rim to it. So I'm going to just leave it as it is, but I am going to continue smoothing out the inside. What you can also do is take a very damp sponge, very damp, no water coming out of it, and you can just lightly twist that in and move it around. You don't want to have so much water on it, and you don't want to keep working it with a wet sponge because it will break down the clay and you'll get cracks. But I like to do it just a little bit to smooth out, do a final smoothing. Okay, so there's my pinch pot. The second part of this video will be the attached rim and the Sgraffito.